What is going on, y'all? KM Best here. I am going to be joined by Braude, who just won the Creator Gauntlet tournament with what might be a new contender for the best deck in the game. It won the Creator Gauntlet tournament in Braude's hands. It hit rank 1 in Derek's hands. Let's take a look at what they are terming the Cook. Braude, welcome to the channel. You are a long-time Marvel Snap competitor, the last person to win a tournament with Galactus, and the most recent tournament winner with this deck, the Cook. Walk me through the process that led you to this deck being a good selection into the current metagame.
Barzi and Derek helped me made this deck. Actually, we started in the qualifiers.
Yeah.
We knew that the most common deck would be AV, so we wanted something to counter it. So Skrull is the most obvious choice with all the Iron Man and Clones and Cosmo and stuff ongoing, and Shadow King as well for all the big kitties, big thinners, and stuff like that. And the rest is pretty much just the points package.
So when you decided to make a deck that was points package plus tech for the best deck, what is it that brought you to the Gwenpool Mysterio Mockingbird Sasquatch thing as the points package? Because a lot of people have been doing, if you're going to do points plus tech for the best deck, using US Agent as the tech and playing a package rotating around Hazmat and Ajax and things like that. Why did you opt for this package as opposed to an Affliction one?
I have to say I'm personally not the best deck builder, as
Sure.
a lot of viewers know. It's mostly Derek and Barzi choice.
Mm-hmm.
They literally built this deck like in the middle of the qualifiers. For the first 2 rounds, they played Zoo, and then I lost in the second round. And then I said, wait, let us build you a better deck for in a minute.
So, what did you feel about this deck, though, in terms of how good the points package was? In games where you weren't playing Super Skrull, were you able to make up for that with just putting numbers on the board?
Yeah, Gwenpool Mysterio is a really big, like each hit on Mysterio is 6 points.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Sasquatch and Mockingbird, usually you can get, there's a lot of cases where you can play them both on turn 6 with also like a 5 power kitty or something, like 25 power points, and you already slam the 12 power Mysterio on turn 5. That's like 40-50 points you can slam on turn 5 and 6. That's big. Gladiator also helps a lot. I think we originally had Copycat as well, which the info is also really good.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're stealing an Iron Man or stuff like that.
So
that can win games.
The real striking thing about this deck to me was the amount of sort of replaceable tech cards that you could rotate in and out of the deck. There were games where I saw you playing Red Guardian, games where I saw you playing Rogue. What is it about those cards specifically that you felt was like, this is less of a specific deck list and more of a shell that you customize to the metagame? So let's say you wanted to get Red Guardian in here. What would you be sacrificing in order to do that? Does Jeff go out? Does Gladiator go out? What is the sort of rotations that you made during the tournament?
We did multiple changes. In some of them, we also cut Jeff. In the final battle, each battle I didn't know what I will play against, so we had to guess. Johnson we thought will play Move. We had Rogue and Rogue for the Madame Web and Red Guardian, I think. I'm not sure.
You had Red Guardian in that one for sure.
And I had Gladiator, which came in really clutch twice by pulling their War Machine and then me knowing, okay, it doesn't have War Machine anymore.
Yes, I saw that. It was very crazy because like there was a game where he bluff snapped having the combo. You stayed in, played Gladiator on 3, it pulled War Machine and let you know that there was no combo forthcoming, and then you immediately won that game.
Yeah. But so, yeah, like the cards you can cut, mostly we cut with Jeff, Gladiator, and Skrull can be like Copycat and Red Guardian and Rogue and maybe even other tech we didn't consider.
So what are the cards that you would say are locked in that you're never swapping out? What is the core here?
I think Hope, Kitty, Mysterio, Gwenpool, Bird, and Sasquatch are like the core points package, and everything else is like the tech slots that you can swap.
So I wanted to ask about Kitty specifically. You're playing Kitty just with Hope Summers. What is it that allowed this to make sense? Is it just like literally just Kitty Hope is enough? Is it just you enjoy like having something to spend your energy on anyway? What is it that made this card so strong in the absence of cards like Angela and Thena? And is it possible to fit cards like that in here?
Kitty is just a good way to curve feel. Like if you're missing an energy, you just play and it's just one extra point. And with the whole package, I think it's good. Thin I don't think works here because a lot of turns you play more than 2 cards with the Mysterio and
Mm-hmm.
dump stuff. But Angela, I think would work. But I don't. I think with Angela and Hope, you'll get clogged too much because a lot of times you actually play Hope and then you play Gwenpool outside of the Hope. So on turn 5, you can play 3 cards on Hope.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think you'll have enough space for Angela.
That makes sense, yeah. I also wanted to dive into Hydra Bob, who is literally just he's there as a 1/5 basically. Replacing that would be probably Silver Sable if you had to.
Yeah, probably Silver Sable. It's a 1/5 that you can play early and you can play late, and it's just big.
Yep.
You don't think about it. Just play him and it's big. And it's big.
Yeah,
Sometimes you play him just for like. I usually prefer to play Kiddy on one, but in some matches up I played him to try to get priority for the Red Guardians or Rogue and stuff like that.
that makes sense. Do you have any sort of specific play tips that you think people might miss picking up this deck for the first time?
Uh, Something that Derek and Barty tell me that I always do, but I don't think I do, is that I tempo Mysterio too much. But yeah, like it depends on your hand. But like you're like the best thing to do with Mysterio is to play him on 5 after you Gwen pulled him and it's big, and then you have a cheap Bird and Sasquatch for 6.
Yeah, and like that's
Gladiator is also very matchup dependent. But like once you're already in the game, like sometimes you have to play him, but like you have to know if to play him early or late depending on like he pulled death for me like twice in
it pulled
the
death twice for you in the finals. Yes.
yeah, and I still won somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I actually think the way in which you played this deck is really instructive to people. So we're going to try to put some of that gameplay on the back end of this, so people can actually see your, I would call it a pretty dominating performance in the finals with the version of this deck that you put together. But I do want to jump into the card by card breakdown. I'm going to ask you one question about each card. You answer that one question, and we will go from there. You end up having a fair amount of excess energy some of the time in this deck. Kitty Pryde has been a good way of filling excess energy. Is this mostly just a card that is there for that purpose? Could you replace it with something that is like more generically large, like a Silver Sable or something like that? Or is it just the overlap with Hope Summers that makes this card absolutely irreplaceable?
I think with Hope Summer it's pretty irreplaceable because you just play him and you play her and she pays for herself and she just be and she grows. And yeah, and carving out is also very good because most other also could play them on one, and then for the rest of the game you'll just wasting a lot of energy.
Yeah.
I think she's pretty irreplaceable.
Hydra Bob has a unique impact on your snapping. And that means that you are going to be put in situations where Hydra Bob, you will have to move him with a snap in order to execute your game plan correctly. To what degree do you conserve your snaps for Hydra Bob? And to what degree do you just say, I'm gonna have to snap early in this game, I'm gonna give up potential Hydra Bob movements later?
I personally think most of the time, if I'm in an adventure snap, if I don't care about Bob, I think it's more important to get the cubes than the exact Bob positioning.
How often are you doing something like play Bob on Hope Summers, snap him off of Hope Summers, if that's the kind of thing you're able to do?
Actually, I don't think I did it even once in the tournament. Not sure.
Hmm.
But it is a play. But yeah, usually like you try to play on an empty lane. So if you already played Bob, it'll be offer. And if it's after the drawer, you usually play him on 6 then already. So it doesn't matter usually.
I consider this card basically uncuttable, just generically excellent in all of these sort of mid-range decks that are trying to run tech cards to beat the AV stuff. It's just an absolutely bonkers card. But you said that Barzy actually wanted to cut it just before the finals. Can you talk me through the thought process of why that would actually be the thing you want to do and what matchups this card is actually bad in?
Shadow King isn't part of the points package. It's part of the tech in the
Yeah.
deck. So basically, you cut him if you think like you're going to play. I don't know versus Living Tribunal or something like that. It doesn't care about it.
Okay.
But it basically it's not important for the deck to function. It's just important as a tech piece that isn't irreplaceable in some matchups, but in some matchups it doesn't matter.
So, what was the worry? Was the worry that your opponent would be like, "Oh, he's played the same deck the whole time. I'm gonna play like Living Tribunal or Hela and just win"?
Yeah, well, that's what we thought. We wanted to cut him for Rogue and to see if it goes like more ongoing or more big boys that don't care about Shadow King.
So, in ladder play, though, you'd say this is never a card you take out.
Yeah, in ladder in the current meta, I don't think you cut it. Yeah.
Kate Bishop is not a part of the points package, but the fact that she makes one drops that like let you play cards, discount stuff for Mockingbird, I was actually fairly surprised you didn't list her as like a core piece of this deck. Is that something you think is accurate, or is that something you think that like no, you actually can replace Kate Bishop and just like run a tech card instead?
Uh, that's a good question. Uh, I think she's important, but she's not core. I think you can replace her. Like there's not a lot of good replacement, but she's not like very. She's not core. A lot of games like if you don't play her on 2, she's usually pretty bad.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like she can be replaced. I don't know even exactly by what, but maybe even if someone can bring back Mirage or something. I
Yeah.
don't know.
No, she's
Like
like
the
glue, right? Like she gives you cards, which means you can play more cards for the Sasquatch. They're cards that you created, so they work with Mockingbird. But mostly she's just like good card that goes here rather than like core, is what you'd say.
yeah, she's a good card that you want to play early, and otherwise she's not. Yeah, she's not important.
Jeff might be the single most generic good card that you want to play early and otherwise is not important in the entire game. Is Kate or Jeff more important here?
Jeff is also good for being able to play on Hope and then move him out before turn 6.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kate is like usually better early, and Jeff is usually better late. I think because you can play him also into lock locations and stuff like that. But I think they both have somewhat like equal role. But we decided. I in the final match I did cut Jeff and not Kate, so I guess Kate is better. Yeah.
Okay. That's sort of where my head was at, but I do understand that like sometimes it's just like it's very hard for Jeff to ever be bad, which makes him kind of a tough cut a lot of the time.
Yeah, he's just a very good boy.
Now we're moving into a piece of the core. Do you have anything to say about how like completely disgustingly broken this card is?
Yeah, Mysterio is a very broken card. Also has some very weird niche interactions in the game.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most obscure cards in the game.
So the main interactions you're looking to abuse with Mysterio are Mockingbird counts all the Mysterios as created cards. Sasquatch counts all the Mysterios as played cards, and any Gwenpool buff that goes onto Mysterio hits the clones as well. So if you get it to 2/6, it is 2/6/2. If you get it to 2/8, it is 4/8/4. And so you end up having this like fairly cohesive, large numbers, big points package that is almost entirely glued together by this guy. He is probably the most irreplaceable card in the deck. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the aspect of that the opponent never knows where the 4 points is also can matter in a lot of games.
How often did that come up for you? Where it just the fact that your range was a little bit harder to know forced your opponents into making worse plays?
I think there were a couple of games. It doesn't happen all the time, but it happens often enough.
Hope Summers, independent of a lot of very obvious ways to use her, is rarely what you see in deck building. And this is one of the aspects of this deck that I think is the most unique, where it's just like, we want to increase our ability to final turn explode. We like having extra energy, and we have the ability to use this Hope Summers. How much of using Hope Summers, how important is this card to this deck? Because it feels like it actually is fairly important, but how often did it come up? How much did it matter? How often were you playing for like 9 energy turn 6s, things like that?
I think hope is really important, and the games you play on 3 are you're much more likely to win than the games you don't. I feel like she is very important. The extra energy, you can play Gwenpool on 4 or sometimes or on 5. You just play like Mysterio, Jeff Kitty on air, and you have 9 energy, and you just dump like Sasquatch Bird, all the arrows, Kitty, and stuff like that on turn 6.
So how much is Hope Summers allowing you to be a deck that plays Super Scroll? And what I mean by that is like Super Scroll is a 4-2. So when it's not good, it's really not good. But even when it is good, you need to be able to play other stuff alongside it. And it feels like Hope Summers is what enables you to be like, okay, I'm going to play a Super Scroll and a big guy on the final turn very consistently.
Yeah, hope is very, very important. I think like games where you don't play are way less likely to win them against good decks.
Gladiator, a bit of another unexpected choice. This guy is just the biggest dumb points guy of all time. Are there other cards you considered here? Did you consider using this as a tech slot, or was it just like we need the most points possible here?
Yeah, we did cut him a couple of times. He's a big boy. It's also matchup dependent. Like there are some matchups where it's bad,
Yeah.
can be bad. Even if you kill the thing, sometimes just getting the effect. Like I remember, even a lot of times playing versus Agent Venom, I'm just like drawing their bust or drawing their Agent Venom even for them, and then
Yeah.
oh, so it's good for them. Like they don't care about the body; they just care about the effect.
Yeah.
But it's just a really big body that's really good. But like we cut him for copycat, which is also still a big body and gives information value, and sometimes can steal stuff like Iron Man, which is amazing, or Red Guardian, which is also Swift 5, and the effect is amazing, stopping Madame Webs or stopping Stina if you get prior, stuff like that.
If you had to replace him with anything, would it be Copycat or Red Guardian?
I think generically, copycat is better by a bit.
Okay. My contention about the current metagame is that there are two real cards you can build around to try to beat Agent Venom Iron Man. One is Super Scroll, the other is US Agent. What is it that made you say, I want to be a Super Scroll gamer?
I think US Agent is way more like you need to position him correctly, and Super Skull is pretty much good in every lane except like if they have Claw and you played him right.
Yeah.
It's like, and I think you can beat matchups where even US agents can't. Like getting like if they have two Iron Man, it's just you can just solo an Iron Man lane, and US agent can't always do that and stuff like that. Or getting the claw value, and
Yeah.
even sometimes some other matchups is better. Like versus move, you get the Madame Web and what else? I don't know.
You got a
Or getting
null versus destroy that was really
yeah, not
important.
versus destroy that
Yeah.
was amazing. Or sometimes even getting another seeing the opponent Cosmo can screw them over because they only wanted to Cosmo one lane. And then they can't mistake or something like that.
So one of the things about this deck is that it is sort of very good against the top decks because of Super Scroll. Are there matchups where you just run into it and this card is just super dead and you just have to deal with that? How do you deal with those matchups? Like what is your strategy for when this card isn't really doing anything? Are you just like, screw it, I'll win anyway on points? Is it a let's mitigate the losses kind of deal? How do you handle that, especially in a tournament where your matchup that's the only thing that matters sometimes?
Luckily, it didn't happen. I think every match I took the Super Squall in the finals in the top 8 where he had a good use.
Okay. Well, pro
But
tip, it's
sometimes
always good.
yeah, just use him only when it's needed.
Yeah, just win. All right. What are you watching this video for? Just go out and win. Come on. Would you call Gwenpool kind of an underrated card at this point? This is like a points package that used to be a very prominent thing, and it basically fell entirely off the map until now. And I guess what I'm wondering is what are your thoughts on why that happened and how well this stacks up into the other points packages that are common right now?
I think the reason it fell is just because other points packages that don't need Gwen just popped up more, like Move and Agent Venom decks. She's a 412, which is amazing, but she's only a 412 if you can actually play the cards that she hits. And not all decks can do that. You need specific decks for that. Or with Mysterio, she's like can be 416, 420. But yeah,
Blaze
but you
it.
gotta you can't put her in any deck that just wants points. You gotta put her in specific deck that will be able to play most of the hand to get value.
This ties back to the hope thing, right? Like it's part of why hope is important in this deck because it gets you max value out of Gwenpool. It's part of why it's good that your big guys are guys that get discounted because they help you get more value out of Gwenpool.
Yeah, exactly. Open the Mysterio help you really play out the entire hand on turn 6 usually.
This isn't the most nerfed card in Marvel Snap, but it does feel like it's slowly getting up there. Where are you at on Mockingbird? Do you think that your success demonstrates that she needs to get nerfed again? Do you think this card is like roughly balanced still? Or is it, I guess what I'm really getting at is Mockingbird or Sasquatch the stronger of the two in this deck?
Uh, that's a tough question. The good thing about Mockingbird is that a lot of games you just get discounts by locations like raptors and squares and stuff like that. A lot of games like you can play nothing and she'll still be a 4-9 or 3-9, which Sasquatch it can never be.
Yeah.
But overall, I think she's a good card, but I don't think she's beyond the thresholds or whatever as they would call that.
Mm-hmm. What about the other giant lady that you use to win games? Sasquatch is, first of all, learned this kind of recently. This is like the female Sasquatch. It's not Walter Lankowski, it's the other one. So, two giant ladies at the top end here. Second, this card is. How often are you just like, this is a 410 because I played two cards on turn 5 or whatever, and those two cards went on Hope Summers, so I'm playing a 410 and a Super Scroll or whatever? Like, when you don't have Mysterio, what is this card usually going to cost?
If you don't have Mysterio, it usually on turn 6 it will cost either 4 or 3 with like a lot of times on turn 5, even without Mysterio, you can play like Jeff, Kitty, Bob, or Jeff, Kitty, Kate or something. Or if you
That
had energy like Jeff, Gladiator, Katie, if you had energy from the turn before, stuff like that.
All right. That makes sense to me. Braude, do you have any final words for anyone who wants to pick this deck up?
Just win.
On a personal note, do you feel like now that you've won this tournament that the amount of screenshots I'm going to see of you losing 8 cubes over the course of 6 games is going to increase or decrease?
Depends on how many cubes I will lose over the course of 6 games.
All right. On that note, thank you so much to Braude. You can find him on Twitter at wait, what is your Twitter username? Because I know you have the Snap Bugle. What's your
Yeah, I
Twitter?
have Marvel Snap Yugo and I have Braude Snap.
Braude, is there an underscore in there?
No, just Braude
Okay, yeah,
Snap.
Braude Snap. And then on Twitch, actually, you can click the team button on my name, and Braude is a member of that team. But also, what is your Twitch?
Just Braude.
And you'll be able to find all those links in the description as well. Thank you so much, Braude, and genuinely, personally, congratulations. I'm very proud of you. I'm very happy that you were able to take home this tournament. Would you care to call NA a Mickey Mouse server? This is your
All
time.
servers are Mickey.
This is your
All
time.
servers are Mickey Mouse. No server is Mickey Mouse.
Wow, what a generous victor he is. Let's jump in to the gameplay. Thank you so much. Ladder guys. That's what they do. That's what they are. We are into it. Looks like the move deck from Nathiel and Braude playing probably still the Cook. Is this the pure move deck, or is it the War Machine version? We're going to find out. I think Doctor Strange is telling me it's more likely to be pure move than anything else. There's a very big Human Torch possible here. Like, just a monster of a Human Torch. Kitty Bob, yep, it remains the Cook. That location. Okay. Nathiel can fill it up on 3 if he really wants to. He doesn't want to snap until that happens, though. He can fill it up on 3 with a Madam Web. And I don't think Braude can match that. But also, his hand is so light. Whoa, 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 whoa. We had an Iron Fist down there. It's fine. Yeah. Torch comes in there. And now this is fill upable. Why did we do this like this? Because it's like, we move the torch out. I just feel like there was... That rogue is kind of crazy. The rogue from Braude, oh my god, devastating. I mean, that is there's not another word for that. It's still a very losable game, but that is a big deal. Ooh, okay. So it's Mysterio, Gwenpool, Kitty here. Not Gwenpooling? Kind of into the Gwyn pool. Bob is moving to the left. Braude has 8 million points next turn. But there is still just a really big Human Torch here. And at any point, that Doctor Strange or the... Like, the issue with playing against a move deck is there's always some things that could happen. And that's what sucks. Is that there's always going to be a guessing game against the move deck. No matter how many points you have, there's always going to be a read they could make that beats your ass. Like, here comes the cloak, right? And it's like, I don't know what you're supposed to do here. If I had to guess, I think Nathiel can permanently lock this up by moving Human Torch, Doctor Stranging, and leaving Dagger here. Oh, never mind. Braude drew the Shadow King. It's over. All right. So Braude is meant to move a Mysterio out, Shadow King right, Gladiator right, or move something out, SK right, Gladiator right, and then just play other stuff in other locations. No! Now he has to guess the SK. Boy, you better be right. Boy, you better be right, dude. Actually, did this always win? Let's find out. Looks like the play... Wow, Braude played around the Cosmo and I didn't. Braude is making me look stupid here. Wait. No, he's not. He's losing. Is he losing or winning? The Cosmo is about to ruin this for him. What a top deck. So yeah, he put these cards on the left instead. This is the move problem. It's permanently like this. Every move deck is this all the time. Like, they can just do stuff, right? Oh, they got the guy. Sorry, guess you died. That's move, baby. It's just hard to make the proper reads. If Braude had put maybe 5, 24, 20, 25? He could have tied the left lane, but that's it. Okay. Not great for Braude. Looking like he's going to start out just down 10-5 the way this is going. Okay, these locations. We could be looking at an all end name final. Nathiel and NH Koru. These locations are not what you want. This is not the goal. Oh, man. I mean, this seems not literal unwinnable, but pretty damn close. Pretty damn close to unwinnable. It's not literal unwinnable. But it's pretty close. We seem pretty close to just unwinnable. I get what he's going for here. It's slick, but this does not feel good. The SK pull is criminally bad. The rogue also gets pulled to the middle, which I guess is fine. Oh, the pain is immense, chat. Sometimes you just get Sanctum Sanctorum Asteroid out. In a game where your opponent top deck Cosmo, retreat. Do not stay in this game. I am begging you, Braude. 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 Thank you. If he looks to access left, we don't even know if he's playing Heimdall or not. He might be able to access it with Heimdall. We literally just have no idea. Ooh. Okay, so if Nithil draws any move card, he's about to win this game. Because there is Aranya Iron Fist that can impact a card on Sinister London. But he does need to draw it. He's setting up for it. Like, any move card. Dagger, Vulture, Human Torch is a snap. But he needs it now. Now. It has to be now. Snap. Snap. He doesn't need Cosmo. He's got Eliath. Snap. This is a snap. This is the biggest snap of all time. He's got this. Snap it. Yep. Sure. Not snapping it? Okay. I mean, I guess. But yeah, he just gets a copy of this at 28. You see this? Two 56s, and now it splits them up. They're both on Madam Web lanes. This is why we should have snapped. Anyway, this game is perhaps the most over of all time. I don't know. Again, we didn't have to snap, but also, like, I guess we just stick around and hope that Braude beefs it, you know? We just stick around and hope that Braude beefs. Holy moly. Yeah, no, like, this is... I would have also broken the snap button before this play, but whatever. Whatever. It's all right. I guess it's fine. What are we snapping now? Like... Hell yeah. Snap after you play 150 power. Let's go. Play 150 power, then snap. So the interesting thing is, for Braude here, winning looks like a 4-cube game. For Nithil, the goal is to keep it close from here. Yep, once again. Yeah, Braude playing, he's got to do this. I think this is smart from Braude. He is playing aggressively into the things that he's got to deal with. You gotta try. Yeah, I'm with it. Got his ass, you know? He got. And now there's a movable Cosmo. Nithil playing amazingly here. Recognizing everything. Great plays. Just really smart shit. If he moves the Cosmo, possibly Red Guardianable. I think this is where Braude is just like, fuck it and stays. That would be what I would do here. Just be like, forget about it. It's fine. Good change of read for Braude. Man. Just a great change here, because the Cosmo came in. Now you can actually Red Guardian that Madam Web. The Cosmo can't move again. Oh, but we want to play that Mysterio out. I guess we're going to go for Kitty Pryde Hydra Bob instead, but we really do want to play that Mysterio out. I honestly think, yeah, you kind of have to do it like this. It's horrifying and terrible. This is 4. It gets a Sasquatch to 2. It gets a Mockingbird to 3. So next turn we have Sasquatch, M-Bird, Hydra Bob. And I actually think this could really do well here, honestly. I actually think this is a super reasonable play. Unfortunately, that Heimdall might be about to make it look stupid. Oh my, that cloak. I mean, oh. The Madam Web turning off here is about to save Braude's entire game. That's it. Because now that cloak, it's actually, now Braude just has to make a read. Now it's just reading time. And I don't think he can lose. He just has to jam it out. Put them all right and see what happens. Can he win? He has 10, 9, 7, which is 26. Yeah, if Braude puts it all right. No, Cloak Left isn't bad as long as the Madam Web is on. Yeah, just beat plus 10 right. I mean, it's if Braude makes the correct play here, he's going to win 4. And we're going to have a real game on our hands again. Actually, now he can do anything. Now anything is possible. 10, 9, 7. There it is. There's the 10, 9, 7. If I had to guess, Nathiel snapping on the Cosmo move was what lost him this. Braude recognized what was happening, undid his turn, played in the unexpected lane, and then Nathiel did not have access to that Cosmo in that lane. Was that Cloak Left greedy? I don't think so. I think the greedy play was the Cosmo play. If you're going to have to name one mistake being made here, it was that Cosmo play. He could have cloaked mid. I don't think he knew Braude had a red G. He knew about the Rogue, but not the red G. Have we seen the red G so far? I think everything he did was basically fine. Except that Cosmo move. You really want that Cosmo move later in the game against this deck. Krakoa. There's kind of an interesting Mysterio Viper play that would be able to happen, but isn't. This hand sucks. Is the idea just Viper middle and then you play Mockingbird Mysterio or something? You just play Mockingbird Krakoa? This is an awkward spot. Because you want to get Krakoa value at some point, right? And he wants to play Mysterio next turn. I love not drawing the card that I create Krakoa out of. Oh, God. Everyone's favorite thing, Cosmo Madam Web. All right, so I'm assuming... I mean, I can't assume anything. I can't assume anything. I have no idea what's happening here. Not a clue. I would expect them to move the dagger, but that's why they'd move the Cosmo, right? There's just so much crap that a move deck can accomplish. I feel like Nathiel is probably going to win this game. Numbers are big. And that Cosmo can move. But the other thing that happens here is that Nathiel doesn't have a good way to win a second lane. So he's got to go power for power here. I mean, this is what move decks are all about. And this is what it's going to come down to here is just, okay. So now we kind of have a good way to win a second lane. We can just put 14 power in it. We can move dagger to the right and then just put 14 on the left, right? Which takes us to 17, which... So it goes like dagger right, Cosmo right, Iron Fist Vulture left. But that only beats Shadow King right. There's a lot we can do here, actually. Daggers in one lane. We could just Goliath another one, right? Is it ever dagger Cosmo right, Goliath the left? It's really risky. The Mysterio here is giving us fits, honestly. The Mysterio here is just absolutely giving us fits. I honestly think this is just both players playing cards and seeing what happens. It's...
I just throw my hands up in this situation because there's too many possible outcomes.
He's reading SK right here. Where's the real Mysterio? Oh, it was SK left! I mean, that's a tiebreak win for Braude, even if it's not. That's a casserole. Was there a win there? Yeah, there was a win. There was a win. Like, in every one of these games, there's a win, right? Move Dagger to the right, and then Iron Fist while moving Cosmo to the left, and get Vulture into there. Yeah, no, that was winnable. They're always winnable. That's the worst thing about every game with Move, is there is always a line you could have taken. Why didn't he Cosmo and Dagger same lane? Because he expected Braude to be bluffing and SK to right. Like, he was making, like, the levels of play there were level 1, obvious thing to do. Level 2, expect your opponent to know that and make a less obvious play. Level 3, expect your opponent to know that and make an even less obvious play. That's what was happening there. I like what Nithiel did. A lot of the time in those situations where it's just like, screw it, send it, you kind of have to just be like, all right, it is what it is. Let's see what happens. Nice claw. I like saving the chimichanga for later here. I mean, this is devastating, right? Like, this is... Nithiel is probably going to take this one. Like, this is exactly the setup you want. You want this... You know, we get to Doctor Strange stuff, so you, like, move Dagger. The only downside of Cosmo in the Madam Web lane is we actually cannot Dagger, or Doctor Strange Dagger. But we have the Heimdall. So it's just, like, fine. Oh, wow. Okay. Move Dagger, but the real question here is one of power allocation. Do we want Human Torch to be big as well? What is our strategy here? This looks to me... So what he can do is he can move Cosmo now if he wants to, and then go for Ghost Spider Doctor Strange stuff. Heimdall is tough to set up here. It's extremely tough to set up here. I want to know what he prioritizes. Okay, so he's going for Torch stuff instead, then going... Okay, so I see what's... Yeah, all right. Yeah. No. I think he was about right, actually. I think he was about right about that. Yeah. I like that play. I think it allows him to set up for Heimdall in a meaningfully powerful way. This one also works, but it's a little less good about being a Heimdall play. Never seen before. Oh! Getting that out there now is fascinating. Now the Strange does nothing. That's a hell of a play from Braude. Oh, that's devastating. For Nithiel. I mean, for Braude, this is just the god gaming, right? Like, this is it. I do think this is the play. Can you lose to a Heimdall here? No. No, you cannot. I think it's over. He's doing Heimdall math right now. You can see him counting it. Yeah, Braude is clutching it. Braude is pulling it off somehow. I think this might be Jover. Is he allowed to snap if he wants to move it? I think he can, but I don't think he wants to move it. 12 versus 9, 12, 16. What are we looking at? Should be over. Tie. Yep. We're done here. Wow. I mean, that is unbelievable. That is an unbelievable play. When things are going well, it's just like pure stone face. It's like... So I'm hoping if he's able to pull off, even if he loses here, I'm hoping he'll be happy. Because it's such a rare occurrence for him to actually be happy about what he's done. Swapping to destroy. Oh my god, the size of this Deadpool. The size of the Deadpool. Is there a world where you hold this to try to... Ooh, do you want to look for the... Yeah, see, that great broadcast instincts from Koru there, by the way. All right, what's coming out of here? Blah, blah. Ooh, what a hit. Holy nuts. Dude, this is the nuts. Koru just deck switching, just running through these guys. His hand is pretty crazy. The Wolverine runs the risk of messing things up. All right, this is what happens. Nico draw 2 right now. This is the Nico draw 2 right now. Nico draw 2, snap, easiest game of his life. Braude is on 1,060 sub. Yikes. That actually kind of helps him out. Oh, that wasn't Nico draw 2. Deadpool, Jin, Venom. Oh my god, it hit the Mysterio? I still think he loses. I still think he loses. Unless he draws SK. He needs to draw SK. Super Skrull's really interesting, though. Like, we're well in range of, like, getting Venom Zola, right? Like, what's happening right now is Deadpool mid into Zola the Venom, right? I don't think Braude beats that. I mean, maybe he can. That is a giant, giant Mysterio. We'll see. Okay. The null? This is exactly what Braude can beat, actually. This is like, if you draw SK, you're winning this game. This is the Dream Destroy game. That is true, but also, again, if Braude draws SK, he does win the game. Whoa, he ran it out now. I mean, let's see how big that 16 is. It's possible he gets to play the 16 and the Deadpool. Braude just draws SK. I mean, that would be insane. He's got an infinite amount of energy, so he gets to play the null and whatever else. If Braude draws SK, I do think he wins, which is horrifying to contemplate. It's like SK and then Skrull. But it has to be SK. No SK, no win. Oh my god! Okay. Wait. I have no idea what this means anymore. I'm just not gonna worry about it. I'm just not gonna worry about it. Sure. So it's like Super Skrull left SK mid or something. I don't know. I don't think Braude can win, but maybe I'm stupid. I feel like he needed to Jin the right lane. And not the mid here. I think he messed up by not Jinning the right lane. Order? Did he put it so he could Jin the Zola? No way, right? What's wrong with the order here? What did he mess up? Okay, I guess we're gonna find out. It's the null? Wait. Braude, if Braude SK's mid, he wins. SK mid and Super Scroll right and he wins. Wait, no he doesn't. What am I talking about? Does he? Oh my god. 17. He does. He wins. If that's a Super Skull, he wins. Braude drew the SK. Oh my god. Insane. Look at that hand. Also, I am right. He needed to play it left. He left himself open there. Let's go. Maybe Braude will actually be happy. Let's go. Do not play the Hydra Bob. Thank you. Why he abandoned mid, though? I don't get it. To create 2 nulls. Now you play the Hydra Bob looking for tempo and try to Red Guardian the Deadpool? Yeah. 50-50. He could have played that on Xandar, but didn't. Who's got it? Koru gets Prio. We're screwed. All right. L. Braude should have played it left. All right. Yeah, we're super screwed here. We're just leaving is what's happening. We're leaving this game. This is not real. I mean, Shadow King do be kinging some shadows here. So Zola 50-50 Venom Braude lost? Correct. Is this Hope Summers Hawkeye left? Oh. Why are we doing it like that? If we do Hope Hawkeye, we get 7 energy. Sasquatch costs 4. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Now, he can lose if Wolverine goes mid, yeah? Browde's on a 50-50 where if Wolverine goes mid, he's just in a really good spot. Ooh, that's exactly what it needed to happen. That is exactly the thing he needed to happen. Deadpool is really big, though. So are we just, like, looking to make a read? Is it just saying you don't have anything to go alongside Deadpool? What's the move here? Deadpool, is Deadpool 8 or 16? If Deadpool is 16... He can't... Oh, yeah, he can null Deadpool. Is Deadpool 8 or 16? It's 8. So he's just got to get the location the Deadpool is. He's got to... Yeah, he just got to pick one. He's literally just got to pick one. Like, he just got to hit the location. There's no way to play around both. Just guess the Deadpool location. Ooh, no null. All right. Cool. Because, yeah, like, we can beat that on that roll. Oscorp. I wonder if we're giving him a Mysterio. I don't like giving Destroy fodder, so it probably isn't that. Oh. It's Vortice Negro, a.k.a. Blag Vordegs. Everybody loves Blag Vordegs. Gonna give it to him. All right. So the real Mysterio is on the right lane. We kind of just know that. All right. Cool. I mean, we're just clunking. It's just clunk. This is all clunk from Koru. Derek's about to be so insufferable. Oh my god. Maybe that's the right move. Maybe he's just got to be like, this is the Infinite. I'm getting the Infinite. Wow. Just the Infinite every time. That's not the Infinite, but it ain't bad either. And then we're looking at like a potential Venom into Zola kind of deal. Surely we never get Shadow Kinged, right? Surely. No one ever Shadow Kings this situation. Was Destroy a bad choice for the final? I don't think Destroy's a very good deck. That's what I will say. Hawkeye. Okay, so Braude finally missing serve just a little bit. But I think my worry, if I'm Koru, is like, what is it that's causing him to miss serve here? Is it the fact that he has a Shadow King? Because that seems believable to me. We are now at the point where I mean, that's a Shadow King snap. That's just what it is. They're allowed to play whatever they want. Yeah, that's just a Shadow King snap. Because, like, when they don't hold serve on that... He had it. Yep. Of course he did. Has Shadow King. Pretty good spot for him. Hand otherwise a little mediocre. Why do we suppose Braude went back to the Super Scroll? What happened? Oh, I think this location mostly favors Braude. Because the more Destroy is able to set up, the more Braude can pare it down with Shadow Kings. Yeah, I mean, this is what you do. Oh, snap. Do not snap this. Jesus. Easiest game of your life. No! Don't. I know what you're thinking. Don't do it. This is a hand. Oh, no! It's Black Vortex again! Oh. Oh, the Hulkbuster. It's Black Vortex again, though. Oh, oh God, no! I mean, you go for the Hulkbuster, right? Oh. Is the hope here that Nico turns into the Nico Draw 2, and then you can Draw 2 the Hulkbuster? I mean, at least Braude is not doing anything. That's good. Hulkbuster into Nico Draw 2 into the biggest Venom of all time. Love this. This is going great. This is going great for Koru. Everything's perfect for him here. This is a Red Guardian, and it's going to hit the Wolverine instead. Oh! Yeah, so there's like a giant Venom. And then a Zola. Like, this is Giant Venom, Grandmaster Venom, play second Giant Venom. Pax Bundle giveaway. When the tournament is over, we'll do one. Wakanda. It's fine. What happens if you Zola a Zola? I guess it's not super relevant. SK food. I mean, I think this is a dub for Koru, probably. But these locations are actually so bad that it's like, It's just sort of worrying. I mean, what comes out of Black Vortex over here? Oh my god, is that like a card that can blow up the Venom? Okay, it's fine. Actually, just straight up a good thing for Koru here. All right, what we got? Wait a minute. 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 Grandmaster left, stack right. This does not win, Braude. Okay, he's locking it in. It doesn't win. I think. That might. I'm not doing math about it. What's he adding? 14? And I don't know. I'm not doing math about it. He might be able to win the left here, actually. There might be a left win here. Oh, I see. He's going for getting that on the right. There is a left win here. I don't think there's a right win here. Oh my god, no, he Shadow Kings it. Braude! Braude! My boy!